Hey guys, welcome back to Pro Gun. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate that. Today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, G-Site. The link is in the description. Please check them out. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro. The reason I chose to go with the Hellcat Pro is because I'm a huge Glock fan and I wanted to buy another Glock, and my wife said, "You have so many Glocks, why don't you try something different?" So I took her advice and I'm glad I did. So I wound up with the Hellcat Pro. So let's get into it. Don't be fooled by the cardboard box. So that's a real pet peeve of mine when you buy a gun that just comes in a cardboard box. You open it up, you get a thank you letter from Springfield. Inside the box you get a nice gun case that holds the firearm with one 15-round magazine. It is not loaded. And when you open the flap of the box, you get a magazine loader. You get your pistol safety cable. You get another 15-round magazine. You get your documentation and warranty card. And you get a little target that shows it was fired. And these magazines are made out of metal, not polymer. And if you go with the Gear Up package, inside the Gear Up package, you get a range bag that's got a lot of compartments to put your firearm and magazines. And inside the range bag, you get 3 additional 15-round magazines. So let's get into some of the features here. To start off with, this is made in Croatia. It's got a lifetime warranty. It is a striker-fired pistol, only available in 9mm. It's got a polymer frame with a steel slide. It's got a 3.7-inch barrel. The overall length is 6.6 inches, and it's 4.8 inches high, and it's only 1 inch wide. And I'm told this is not loaded. It's optic ready. You see the 2 screws. You just unscrew the screws, pull the plate off, mount your optic, tighten it back down, you're good to go. The sights. The rear sight is a U-shaped sight, and the front sight is a tritium night sight. And if you're not familiar with tritium, tritium is a radioactive liquid that is not harmful, that constantly glows. So it doesn't require any batteries or charging source. They're just on all the time. One thing to note is that tritium does have a life expectancy of 10 to 12 years, and then it stops glowing and you'll have to replace the sight, but that's okay. But I'm really glad that they put the night sight on here, because gunfights do happen in the dark too. Another nice thing about the rear sight is the bevel on it. For some reason, you may not have the ability to use one arm, and you can just put it on your gun belt, rack the slide, and you're good to go. Go with some of the other features. It's got a nice melanite finish, which is corrosion resistance, unlike the blued finishes. The blued finishes tend to rust over a period of time. It also has a witness hole here, so that you can use this as a indicator to see if you have one in the chamber. The stippling is really nice. I like this grip a lot. What I like about it is that I'm used to the finger indentations here that the Glocks have, and it's just enough here where you can feel it, but it's not really that pronounced. And the stippling is, they did a nice job with it. It's just aggressive enough where you can comfortably hold the firearm and it won't slip out of your hand, but yet it's not aggressive enough where it's going to scratch your skin or start wearing your clothes away. It's got a ambidextrous slide release. Just press the button and the magazine just slides right out of there. It's got an accessory rail on the bottom in case you want to mount a flashlight or a laser. This is a lot of firepower in a gun this small. I mean, in my opinion, this is the ultimate defensive weapon. It comes optic ready, comes with night sights because gunfights happen in the dark too. And 15 plus 1 is just a lot of magazine capacity. A lot of guns this size use 10, 12 round magazines, and these 15 round magazines, they fit flush too. They don't stick out at the bottom. If you're going to do a comparison, most people would probably wind up comparing this to the Glock 19. And the reason for that is the Glock 19 is probably the most commonly sold 9mm in the country, if not the world. This is a Glock 44. It's unloaded. I'm using this for size purposes because these are the same exact dimensions as a Glock 19. So if you were to compare these, the Hellcat Pro is a little bit shorter. The height is about the same. The most noticeable difference, though, is the width. The Glock is very bulky, and the Hellcat Pro is only 1 inch wide. It's very narrow. Makes it much more easy to conceal. A lot of people think that, it's the length of the barrel makes it hard to conceal. That's not the case. I mean, this is a 3.7 inch barrel, and it's relatively small, but it's just long enough to be accurate. And it's the grip. The fatter the grip, because the grip is what sticks up high and prints through your shirt. So the thinner the grip, the less obvious it is. And that's what I like about this, is that for a defensive pistol, it's very easy to conceal. And like I said earlier, if you're thinking of adding a new firearm to your arsenal, or if you're a new shooter, you may want to seriously consider this Hellcat Pro. I got the Gear Up package at the local Rural King for about $560. And in my opinion, I think this is a lot of gun for the money, and I don't think there's anything in its class that can compete with this, whether it's Glock or SIG. It's a real joy to shoot, whether single-handed or double-handed, and because of the dimensions, when you put this on inside the waistband holster, you pull your shirt over it, and it basically disappears. I mean, you don't even know it's there, whether you're sitting down, standing, whether it's an appendix, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It really doesn't matter. They put a lot of thought into this. And I got to tell you, this checks all the boxes of what a defensive pistol should be. And I would not be shocked to see the Hellcat Pro taking sales away from Glock and SIG, because it is that good. A lot of people say, well, the Glocks, they're going to go bang every time and they feed everything that you give it. Well, you know what? The Springfield is no slouch either. I own a bunch of Springfields and I've never had a jam or a misfire. And I went to the range with this today, and right out of the box, the first time shooting it, I shot good ammo, I shot crap ammo, and I shot hollow points, and it functioned flawlessly. Another thing to note is on the side, there's an index pad on both sides, which is really convenient for especially new shooters to get used to trigger discipline, and it's got a thumb rest with stippling on it as well, which makes it much easier to hold the firearm. This thing, for the money, I just don't think there's anything that can compete. The serrations on the slide, they have them on the front and the back. You'd be hard-pressed to find anything of this quality for that price range, honestly. There's always pros and cons to everything. I've been trying to find a reason to not like this. I never have been a fan of the 9mm cartridge. I normally carry a 45 ACP or a 10mm, but to be honest with you, after having this and shooting it, I'm starting to change my mind, and I may be carrying this more. If I had anything, and it's probably not even its fault, it's because it's new, these magazines have very, very firm spring tension in them. I was not able to load more than 8 rounds by hand. I did have to use the mag loader in order to load 15 rounds in here, but I'm sure if you load this up with the mag loader and you leave the magazine fully loaded for a couple days, the springs will loosen up. I also find the rear sight a little creepy. I've been used to 3-dot sights my whole life. That U-shaped sight, I just find it a little tough to get used to, but after you get used to it, it does make target acquisition much quicker. This is the first magazine I shot. This is not my best work, but at 10 yards, for the first time firing this gun, it's really not that bad, considering I still had to get used to the U-sight configuration, but I did start getting progressively better towards the end. And regardless, at center mass, the threat would still have been neutralized. If you're looking for a defensive pistol that has got a lot of power, 15+1, in a compact size like this, you should seriously give this some consideration. And if you're new to firearms and you're looking to purchase your first carry gun, this is ideal. It's very easy to shoot. There's practically no recoil whatsoever. It's very easy to operate, very easy to maintain. Overall, this may just be the perfect defensive carry gun. And Glock and Sig, be on the lookout, because the Hellcat's going to come after you. Thanks for watching.